Hi, I'm presenting this paper on behalf of a team here at the Australian University, most of whom have worked as part of the Zero Carbon Energy for the Asia Pacific Grand Challenge. This paper on clean hydrogen that compares the emissions and costs of fossil fuels versus renewable electricity-based hydrogen was recently published in Applied Energy. We wanted to share this paper with you here because it has great relevance for the discussion about clean hydrogen in the Australian context, especially the hydrogen strategy and the technology roadmap. So here you can see that what we're doing is comparing the costs and the emissions of fossil fuel-based hydrogen with renewable electricity-based hydrogen. Figure 1 shows the breakdown of the total emissions intensity of the different fuels. We compare hydrogen from coal and the production of hydrogen from gas. Notable thing that is part of this graphic is that we account for the process emissions and the fugitive emissions. And you can see those two bars highlighted there, with the process emissions shown in shaded orange and blue and grey, with the fugitive emissions in the bolder colours. We show this for different capture rates as well. So you've got hydrogen made from the fossil fuels with and without carbon capture and storage. It's notable that some of the carbon capture storage technologies still have notable emissions intensity. We highlight this by comparing the emissions intensity to the certified low carbon threshold. So in that proposed certification scheme from Europe, they classify low carbon hydrogen as hydrogen produced from fossil fuels that can achieve a greater than 60% reductions in emissions compared to the usual production method of steam methane reforming using natural gas. So the green line there shows the certified low carbon threshold. And you can see that it is only hydrogen from gas with a high capture rate of 90% that will achieve this low carbon threshold. The other options, so hydrogen from gas with a 56% capture rate, does not fall below that low carbon threshold even before you account for methane and fugitive emissions. And that's the same with the coal options and high capture rates as well. So in that panel, we highlight that the emissions from gas or coal-based hydrogen systems are substantial, even with CCS. The second part of the paper focuses on cost projections for hydrogen with the fossil fuel options being shown in figure 2 with no CCS and with high CCS capture rates. This graph was collated using 97 estimates from 16 different studies. Those are the black dots shown. We've got the median highlighted as a diamond, and the percentile range is also shown as a darker shaded box. We've also illustrated the impact of a carbon price and assumed a $50 tonne of CO2 equivalent price using those emissions intensities that were shown, that are shown in figure 1. So this graphic shows that the CCS options do have a notable markup compared to their fossil fuel without CCS options. You can see there that in terms of for the steam methane reforming example, the median cost of $1.66 US dollars per kilogram increases to over $2 with high capture rates applied. Similar pattern for the coal gasification example. The electrolysis example, we show the data in a different way, in a different specification there. You've got studies that, a big range of studies with a present day cost estimate, and the median there is over $3, about $3.64 per kilogram. But then a lot of those studies also have a lower capital cost or low cost electricity scenario, and we've included that on the far right with the median coming in under $2 per kilogram. So a key finding there is that most studies find and illustrate that electrolysis with renewable energy could become cheaper than using fossil fuels with CCS to produce the hydrogen. For more details on the costs of producing hydrogen from electrolysis, please dive into the paper for those details. We have some estimates there about the actual what cost drivers there are for electrolysis. I should mention that a notable driver of those costs is actually the electricity cost for the feedstock that is used in the electrolyzer. And there's a graphic in the paper that illustrates that. So please have a look at that paper, get in touch with any questions, and thank you for listening to our little poster session. Thanks.